Hi, my name is Amit Gvaryahu. I teach here at Jusha at the July Collegiate Program and the Dr. Beth Samuel High School program. This week in Parashat Vayigash, there is all manner of human drama, but I would like to focus on a different episode at the end of the Parsha, where the Parsha sort of changes registers and talks about Joseph's economic measures for taking over the Egyptian economy. There is famine in Egypt, just as Joseph had predicted, and just as Joseph had told Pharaoh to do. Pharaoh had placed Joseph at the head of the economic management crisis team in Egypt. And people come to Joseph and say, "Joseph, give us bread." And he says, "Give me money." And that works for a year, but then there is no more money. And then, after having signed everything they have over to Joseph, people still need more food. And Joseph makes up an ingenious plan, according to which he will buy all the land and all the people in Egypt, and they will work for him. Well, not him, for the kingdom. And this nationalized economy will sort of be the machine through which the people of Egypt will be fed. Instead of working for themselves, people will work for the government. And the government will take 20% of the crop for itself, and the people will be able to keep the rest for their own consumption. The only exception to this rule are the priests. Rak admat kohanim lo kana. Pharaoh, through Joseph, did not buy the land of the priests. Ki chok lekohanim me'et paro. The priests have set rations from Pharaoh. Ve'achlu et chukam asher natan lahem paro. They ate their rations that Pharaoh gave to them. Al ken lo machru et admatam. Thus, they did not have to sell their land. We know from ancient historians that temple economies were central to the ancient civilizations of both Egypt and Mesopotamia, and that temples were the largest holders of land and wealth in the ancient Near East and ancient Egypt. But what we see here is that the priests have double benefits. They not only have their own wealth and the wealth of the temples, they also are allotted rations from the royal treasury. Thus, even if there is a famine, the priests did not have to sell anything to the kingdom. In effect, the kingdom was underwriting the priests' food while the priests were making their own money from their own tenants on their own land. This could have been an interesting historical anecdote, if not for the fact that the Torah has its own priests and its own temple in the back of its head as it is telling us this story. As we know, the Jewish priests, or the Israelite priests, had no land of their own. In several places in the Torah, God says, "I am the priest's land. Ani chelkecha v'nachalatcha." The priests are beggars. They need the people to supply them with food, just like Pharaoh's priests. But unlike Pharaoh's priests, that is their only source of income. The priests are dependent on the goodwill of the people to fund them in entirety, and the goodwill of the people is the store of priestly wealth. Unlike the Egyptian priests described in the Joseph story, the Israelite priests need the people just as much as the people need them. They have no independent wealth. They are completely subject to divine mercy, but also to human mercy. In this, I think, this Torah is trying to tell us a basic difference between the Egyptian priesthood and the Israelite priesthood. While the Egyptian priesthood stands on its own and sort of feeds off of the Egyptian people while amassing its own wealth, the Israelite priesthood feeds off of the love and appreciation it earns, or should earn, from the Israelite public. Without this love and appreciation, when the trust between the priesthood and the people comes crumbling down, then the priesthood will crumble with it. Shabbat Shalom.